Welcome to Royal Secret. In a twist that has electrified Denmark and shocked royal watchers around the globe, King Frederick X has made a move that no one expected, not even the courtiers whispering behind the gilded palace doors. Just months into his reign, the Danish monarch has taken a decision so bold, so emotionally charged, that it's rewriting royal history in real time. Princes Nikolai and Felix, once stripped of their royal titles in a storm of controversy, have now been honored anew. What changed? Why now? And what does this mean for the future of the House of Glucksburg? For decades, the Danish royal family has been admired as one of the most modern monarchies in Europe, stable, stylish, and scandal-free. But beneath the polished surface, tensions simmered. When Queen Margrethe II made the earth-shaking decision in 2022 to strip her younger son Prince Joachim's children of their royal titles, Denmark was thrown into an emotional tug-of-war. Her grandchildren, Nikolai, Felix, Henrik, and Athena, were no longer to be addressed as princes and princess, but as counts and countess of Montpezat. To some, it was a necessary modernization. To others, it was an act of cruelty. And now, in a stunning reversal, her eldest son, King Frederick X, has chosen a different path. In a move that has reignited public debate and captivated millions, Frederick has reinstated ceremonial honors and royal visibility for the two most prominent of Joachim's children, Prince Nikolai and Prince Felix. This isn't just a story of titles. It's a story of legacy, power, and family. When Queen Margrethe removed the HRH titles from her grandchildren in 2022, her official reasoning was clear: to streamline the monarchy and give the younger generation the freedom to live more ordinary lives. But the fallout was anything but ordinary. Prince Joachim, visibly emotional, told Danish media he was deeply hurt by the decision. His wife, Princess Marie, appeared stunned. And his eldest son, Nikolai, who had become a fashion icon and public favorite, admitted he was confused and saddened. "We are, of course, very sad," Nikolai told reporters outside his Copenhagen apartment. "We've grown up with those titles, and it's a big part of who we are." In Denmark, where the monarchy is held in deep affection, many viewed the move as harsh. Social media erupted with criticism, while tabloids speculated about long-standing family rifts. For a while, the royal family projected unity. But something had clearly shifted behind the scenes. When Frederick ascended the throne in early 2024 following Queen Margrethe's abdication, he inherited more than a crown. He inherited a fractured royal household. Although he had stood beside his mother's decision publicly, whispers inside Amalienborg Palace suggested that Frederick, a father of four himself, sympathized more with his brother than he let on. Insiders say that from day one, King Frederick sought to bring healing to the royal family. While he remained respectful of his mother's reforms, he began laying the groundwork for what some call a soft restoration of Prince Joachim's children. And then came the game-changing moment. Frederick personally invited Princes Nikolai and Felix to accompany him during an official engagement in Aarhus, marking their first public appearance with royal honors since the title scandal. It was a breezy spring afternoon when Frederick, clad in royal navy and gold trim, stepped onto the red carpet at Aarhus City Hall. But the cameras weren't just watching him, they were locked on the two young men who flanked him, Nikolai and Felix, poised, elegant, and wearing ceremonial sashes. The announcement had been made quietly, almost without notice. But the visual told 1,000 stories. They were back. Crowds erupted into applause. Elderly Danes wept. And even the harshest critics of the monarchy softened in the face of what looked like a royal reconciliation. In that moment, King Frederick sent a powerful message. The royal family would not be defined by exclusion, but by unity. Prince Nikolai, 25, is not just a royal by birth. He's a household name in fashion, having walked for Dior and Burberry and graced international magazine covers. His piercing green eyes and striking resemblance to his grandmother Margrethe made him a fan favorite. Prince Felix, 22, more reserved than his brother, has carved a quieter path, studying logistics and management. He's known for his deep connection to his family and his love of privacy. Yet both young men, despite the heartbreak of being stripped of titles, never publicly lashed out. They carried themselves with grace, refusing to fan the flames of controversy. They represented dignity in silence, says royal commentator Birgit Dalgaard, and that may be why King Frederick felt compelled to honor them. They didn't demand redemption, they earned it. Multiple palace sources have confirmed that King Frederick personally met with Prince Joachim months before the Aarhus event. The meeting, described as deeply emotional, is said to have taken place in private. No aides, no cameras, just two brothers trying to mend a lifetime of royal friction. For years, Joachim has lived in exile of sorts, taking up a defense attaché role in Washington, D.C., after serving in Paris. There were rumors that he and Frederick rarely spoke. But all that appears to be changing. According to sources close to the court, Frederick's move to restore ceremonial honors to Nikolai and Felix is just the beginning of a larger plan to reunify the family. If Queen Margrethe's title removal sparked controversy, King Frederick's move has sparked near-universal admiration. "It's the most touching thing I've seen from a royal family in years," one fan tweeted. Frederick is not just a king. He's a father, a brother, and a healer. Even critics of the monarchy admitted the move humanized the institution. Polls conducted within 24 hours of the Aarhus event showed a 17% boost in King Frederick's popularity, especially among Danes under 35. And a new conversation began, one that questioned whether modern monarchies must always shrink to stay relevant, or whether inclusiveness could be the new modernization. While the restored honors don't come with a full return to HRH status or state funding, they do represent something powerful: acknowledgement. Prince Nikolai is rumored to be in discussions to become a youth ambassador for Danish fashion and sustainability, a role that aligns with his public image and Denmark's soft power strategy. Prince Felix, too, may be involved in logistics for royal charity events, a way to quietly contribute without becoming a working royal in the traditional sense. What's clear is that King Frederick isn't just restoring names, he's reimagining roles. For Prince Joachim, the younger brother often cast in the shadow of King Frederick, the past few years have been both isolating and painful. Once a central figure in the Danish royal narrative, Joachim found himself sidelined, not just by the monarchy's evolving role, but by his own mother's unexpected decree. The title removal cut deep. Interviews at the time showed a man grappling with a sense of betrayal, not from enemies, but from family. "My children feel ostracized," Joachim told the Danish press back in 2022, his voice tight with emotion. "They don't understand why their identity was suddenly taken away." But now, with King Frederick's symbolic act of restoration, a new chapter is opening for Joachim. For the first time in years, he appears re-engaged with the royal fold, standing beside his sons during their re-entry into public life. It's more than just a gesture, it's a long overdue reconciliation. Princess Marie, Joachim's French-born wife, had often remained composed in public, rarely offering personal commentary on royal disputes. But behind palace gates, she was said to be deeply shaken by the impact the title change had on her family. In a rare interview conducted just weeks after the Aarhus event, Marie reportedly shared her feelings. "This has been a time of great reflection. Watching my son stand beside the king filled my heart with gratitude." Observers noted her emotional tone and visible pride, suggesting that she too sees this as a healing moment, not just for her sons, but for a fractured royal identity. "They are not just counts. They are sons of Denmark," she added. "And now, they are being seen." And what of Queen Margrethe? The woman who once ruled with elegance and strength has now passed the throne, but not the weight of her decisions. Interestingly, the former monarch has made no public statement regarding Frederick's decision to honor Nikolai and Felix. Palace insiders, however, suggest that Margrethe was informed in advance and gave her quiet blessing. "There is no rift," one courtier confided, "just a passing of the torch, and an acceptance that every reign has its own rhythm." Indeed, the Queen's absence from the narrative may be intentional, allowing her son to define his kingship without interference. Still, the image of Margrethe standing silently at a royal balcony as Frederick leads his nephews forward is striking, a reminder of how monarchies evolve with each new generation. Across the globe, royal families have watched with intrigue. In Sweden, Crown Princess Victoria reportedly sent a personal note to Frederick praising the move as a compassionate step that exemplifies modern royalty. Queen Maxima of the Netherlands was said to be deeply moved after seeing Nikolai and Felix re-emerge onto the public stage. Even in the United Kingdom, where titles and succession lines are a frequent tabloid obsession, commentators took note. This would be akin to Prince Harry's children suddenly appearing at a major royal event in London, one royal expert explained. It's not about logistics, it's about symbolism. Frederick's gesture is now seen as a masterclass in royal diplomacy, a reminder that family healing can happen even under the scrutiny of history. King Frederick's leadership is already drawing comparisons to European monarchs like King Felipe VI of Spain, who has also faced the challenge of balancing tradition with modernization. Yet where Felipe is often seen as cautious, Frederick is increasingly viewed as bold, willing to take risks to bring dignity and humanity to his reign. The restoration of honor to Nikolai and Felix doesn't represent a return to old systems. Rather, it introduces a new template, symbolic inclusion without fiscal or political burden. A soft power move that strengthens the crown's relevance among younger citizens. In a time when monarchies are questioned worldwide, Frederick's approach may well be the model of the future. Public opinion in Denmark is overwhelmingly positive. Social media has lit up with images of Nikolai and Felix at the Aarhus event, their smiles shy but genuine. Fashion influencers, previously enchanted by Nikolai's modeling career, have dubbed him the People's Prince, a figure of both royal heritage and modern sensibility. Meanwhile, Felix has emerged as an unlikely icon of humility, praised for stepping into public life without seeking the spotlight. The two brothers represent a bridge between the past and the future, between royal protocol and personal freedom. And the Danish people are responding with a kind of warmth and pride that speaks volumes. Behind the palace walls, this new era is being carefully managed. King Frederick and Queen Mary are reportedly determined to avoid the mistakes of the past, creating an environment where all members of the extended royal family feel included and respected, even if they are not working royals. Queen Mary, herself once a commoner, is said to be a strong advocate for family harmony. She has been spotted chatting warmly with Nikolai and Felix at events, and insiders say she played a quiet but critical role in their reintroduction. Her influence, many believe, has helped steer the monarchy through the delicate act of restoration. What lies ahead for the House of Glucksburg? With King Frederick's children, especially Prince Christian and Princess Isabella, already preparing for a life of duty, the return of Nikolai and Felix is unlikely to affect the line of succession. But it does signal something more profound, a monarchy willing to adapt. Experts now speculate that Frederick's reign will be defined by unity, modernity, and emotional intelligence, a stark contrast to the sometimes rigid systems of the past. The royal family is no longer just a symbol of state, it is becoming a symbol of healing, inclusivity, and transformation. Frederick's move is now being studied in royal circles worldwide. How can monarchies evolve without losing legitimacy? How can traditions be preserved without excluding family? From Buckingham Palace to Stockholm, the answer may now be clear, through acts of grace, empathy, and reintegration. If Prince Joachim's children can be honored without destabilizing the monarchy, perhaps other families can take similar steps. Because in the end, royal blood may matter, but so does royal heart. Perhaps the most moving aspect of this entire saga is the image of King Frederick standing beside his younger brother Joachim, united in purpose, joined by their sons. It's a portrait not just of royalty, but of reconciliation. A family once torn apart by politics, tradition, and miscommunication has found its way back to center stage. Together, and with that unity, the Danish royal family has done something rare, reminded the world that even under crowns, there are hearts that feel, bleed, and heal. The Danish monarchy may have just turned a page, but what comes next could shape the very future of royal families across the globe. Because when princes are restored, and brothers reunite, we're reminded of the greatest power royalty can possess, not wealth, not titles, but forgiveness. So now we ask you, our audience, do you believe King Frederick's bold act will truly heal the Danish royal family, or is this just the calm before the next royal storm? Thanks for watching.